Cleaning your bike is simple, but I think way too many videos overcomplicate it. So this video here is to show you how simple it actually is. And today I'm going to be cleaning this, of course a gravel bike, but the stuff that we're doing now applies to every bike that you can wash. For my bike cleaning, I put it into 4 easy steps. That's preparation, drive chain, frame, drying. Job done. Here are my 6 essential items that you're going to need to wash your bike. And then through the video, I'll have some optional things here as well. Bucket, sponge, any form of bike wash, some degreaser for the drive chain, and a cyclone tool to clean the chain. Finally, some microfiber cloths for drying. So we've got to start with the prep. The first thing you got to do, especially with the muddier it is, you got to wet down your bike. You want to remove as much mud from your bike as you can with the hose. Now that you've got the water in there, if there's any mud left over, the water is going to help soften it up. Whilst that's softening up, we're going to go get some hot soapy water in here. Mainly warm because it's cold outside. That's all that's needed for the preparation. Once we've done that, we can now get into the drive chain. If you're a sane person and you wax your chain, all you need to do is take it off, put it in your wax pot and clean the rest of the bike. If you don't wax your chain and you use a wet lube like is on this bike here, I'm going to show you how to clean it properly. So this is where you're going to need to use your cyclone tool and some degreaser. In the bottom of the cyclone tool, I just put a splash of degreaser, which I tend to fill it up about 1/3 of the way, and then you can fill the rest up with water. The reason I use this tool is because it gets the chain nice and soapy, and the soap actually gets in between the links and the rollers, and that's where you need to remove the dirt. You're probably going to find that you're actually going to need 2 to 3 run-throughs to get your chain actually clean. Can you see here, it's nice and soapy. This is how you want it to look, and like I said, that's what gets in between all the links and rollers. Make sure that you rinse out all the degreaser from your drive chain, because when you re-lube it, you don't want any stuck in there. Next up on the drive chain, if you want to clean the cassette properly, you're going to need some stiff bristled brushes like these. I prefer this bigger, fatter one, but these thinner ones that tend to come with kits work fine as well. And this is where you want your degreaser in a spray bottle. You should be able to get it nice and shiny with that technique, and it shouldn't take that long really. There is a final part to the drive chain, and that's all the dirty bits on the inside of the derailleur here. You can see how much mud just gets caked up and kicked up on here. And same again, just use a degreaser in your brush, and that's going to get it all off for you. Now it's time for the frame, and honestly, this is the easiest bit. You quite literally just use your sponge in your soapy water, make sure it's always nice and soapy, and quite literally clean everything you can see on the frame. Try and get under all the details, behind the chainring, every little small nook and cranny that you can get that sponge into. There are some other tools, but generally this gets 99.5% of everything that you're going to need to get. So just go over it, get every little bit of dirt, and if you miss any bits, then the drying process will show you anything that you've missed. I also find it much easier to clean the wheels off the bike, so I recommend them taking them off. Just make sure you protect your frame. As you can see behind there, I've got like a rubber mat to stop any scratches on the bike. And then I have this little tool here that does come from like the muck-off kits as well. It's just like a soft bristled brush that I tend to use to clean all the inside of the hubs, because it's quite hard to get your sponge in there and it cleans the hubs really well. Another optional item that you can get here is this long and soft bristled brush, and I find this just gets into those very tiny nooks and crannies that's just hard to get into with a sponge as well. So this just gets deeper into those drive chain bits that you just can't quite access with your fingers or the sponge. Now that you've cleaned everything, you're happy with it, all you need to do is dry it, and this is where the microfibers come in. But so you don't get them oversaturated, shake off as much water as you can, and then you can just start drying it with your microfibers. You do want to dry the chain a little bit. This will let it dry a bit quicker, and once it's fully dry, you can then reapply whatever lubricant that you're using. If you've cleaned it properly, there should be hardly any dirt on there. If you have any bike protect, this isn't my favorite stuff. I actually like the Silka stuff, but this is now the time to apply. Spray it onto your cloth, and then just wipe it all over your bike. If you do use Bike Protect, you'll find your newly clean paint job will just last a little bit longer. It does protect the paint on your frame a bit more, so you'll get more longevity out of the paint on your frame. Well everyone, that's how to clean your bike. It's actually not that hard. It's basically just cleaning the drive chain and using some soapy water to clean the frame. But honestly, I'd probably recommend waxing your chain. I do have a guide for that below, because then you can skip that whole drive chain step and it makes cleaning your bike so much faster, and you have a better, faster, longer lasting chain for it as well, saving you money. Well guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. I'll see you in the next video.